2 feature victories on the season, but in the 14 features that they have run, he's the only driver to finish inside the top 10, all 14 of them.
Yep, model of consistency, getting the job done for Benzik here this season. He's 9th quickest on lap number 1 with a 20.089, and he'll go 2nd with a 19.783. Benzik up to 2nd quick. So Ryan Rolstead still hanging on to that faster than a speeding bullet award with a 19.759. And Andy Barney on the bubble.
Welcome if you're watching on our live look-in, brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. Appalachian Sucker Punch bringing you this live look-in on social media. We are at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway for the 56th annual Oktoberfest race weekend, day 1 of Oktoberfest race weekend. Again, this live look-in brought to you by our friends at Appalachian Sucker Punch. Qualifying is underway for the La Crosse late models. This is Ryan Varner. Varner in the 31 machine is 13th quick on lap number 1, and he will improve up to 7th on lap 2. My name is Dean Strom alongside Matt Votty. Again, this live look-in brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. If you want to see the entirety that is Oktoberfest, you go over to TrackTV.com. TrackTV.com is your home for the Oktoberfest race weekend if you cannot be here.
And we're going to have all 4 days live for you here this weekend. If you subscribe to TrackTV.com now, you get not only the Oktoberfest race weekend, but we got a big Winchester 400 weekend coming up next weekend. So you get both of those as part of your package. Jump onto TrackTV.com. October's a good month to catch some super late and late model racing.
What do they say? It's Crown Jewel season.
Crown Jewel season.
Yep, we have one here on Sunday, the Oktoberfest 200 for the ASA Midwest Tour.
Jeremy Wolf just completing his qualifying efforts, driver out of Chaska, Minnesota, and he goes 7th quickest with a 19.973. That bumps Brazen Bennett down to the bubble and will bring the 39 of Colton Morgan trackside out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. Colton found victory lane at Madison once this year, also at Dells Raceway Park. First lap time for Morgan will be a 20.890.
And that will not be good enough to crack the top 16. It's going to be 22nd on the grid. Again, we will punch the top 16 automatically into 4 feature events. And Colton will improve, but not enough to crack the top 16. He'll be 20th at a 20.502.
And that'll bring the driver out of St. Paul, Minnesota, Michael Beamish, trackside. Beamish, we saw him at Elko in the Super Lates for the ASA Midwest Tour, the Northern Racing Products number 40 machine. A regular with the weekly competitors here.
Well, that Elko event was fun, wasn't it? I just love going back there. Last year was the first time that the tour got to go back to Elko in a few years. And now it's 2 years in a row that we have gone to Elko Speedway. Just a beautiful facility. Can't imagine racing there every week.
And what racing we got to see there.
Oh,
man,
my goodness.
That was insane. The Beamish machine will put himself into the show for now. He's 12th quickest with a 20.071. So that bumps Theron Raisin down to the bubble. 20.271. Things getting a little tighter. Ryan Rolstead, still your quick qualifier with a 19.759, trying to get himself a faster than a speeding bullet award.
Ryan Camish on track right now in the 42 machine. You know, see it says Country Joe Holmes there on the right rear quarter panel. You know why it says Country Joe Holmes there on the right rear quarter panel? Because this is an old car of Joey Miller's.
Ah.
He bought it, I talked to Ryan, bought it right before Elko, which was a few weeks ago. And, yep. Put it out of the Country Joe Racing stables. Camish, 16th quick, 20.139.
So he puts himself on the bubble. It's going to be a tall order to stay there because there's some pretty good cars yet to go.
Yeah, good news, you're in.
For now.
Bad news for now.
Yes. This is one of those cars.
Jason Stark in the 48 machine. Jason, a full-time competitor here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, comes into this weekend 9th in the championship standings. Interesting to see him listed as a rookie.
Yeah, he's but it seems like he's a rookie because he just runs everything and anything except for the big stuff, and he's finally we saw him at Hawkeye Downs a couple years ago in a super late. We've seen him here now in a truck and now in a late model here weekly. So
we see him go 5th on the board as well.
5th on the board. He's not a rookie behind the wheel, just behind the wheel of this car. 19,851 for Jason Stark, driver out of Wisconsin Dells.
Steve Anderson Jr. on track right now in the 50 machine.
Climate Services, Air Solutions, South Metro Gas Services, Lofquist Construction, and Jenna Marie Photos sponsoring the 50 entry of Anderson here tonight. He spent some time at Elko and a little bit of time here this year. He'll go 20th on lap number 1, 20.336, so he's going to need a pickup.
Greg Borchardt is 16th quick and on the bubble. He will be bumped as Anderson goes 7th quick.
A good pickup for Anderson, 19.918. We've got 9 cars that have been inside the 19-second mark so far.
Michael Carlson in the 50 machine rolls trackside for the first of 2 qualifying laps. Michael 6th in the championship point standings on the back of 2 feature wins here on Saturday nights.
2022 track champion. First lap time for him, 20.000. Boy, that would be a case of beer at the Misfits at Madison if you hit the perfect time.
Who buys the case of beer?
Greg.
Oh, all right.
It's only happened once.
Mike goes to the top of the board.
19.697. That now turns to the fastest lap for the NASCAR late models that we have seen today. And a bit surprising because he was not anywhere close to the top 15 in practice.
Brent Kirchner are now on the bubble. Adam Degenhart on track in the 63 machine.
Very familiar driver here at the Speedway. Different ride. This is the Gibbs Schroff ride that we would have normally seen Jason Stark in, paired with this machine for the season. This is the 63 of Degenhart, normally the 03. He'll go 20.023 on lap number 1. 13th quick, puts himself in the show. And he'll go 4th quickest with a 19.807. Good lap for Degenhart. Michael Beamish now on the bubble.
On track right now, Steve Carlson, your fast qualifier's dad. This is Steve Carlson in the 66 machine, the veteran, 68 years old, former NASCAR national champion representing La Crosse Speedway a couple of years ago. Pretty cool that Steve-O gets to race with his son, still have fun, still get out here. Looking for his first feature win of the season. Speaking of feature wins, though, when we go back in the record books, 27 Artco Challenge Series wins. The Artco Challenge Series morphs into the NASCAR Midwest Series, where he has 40 victories, so up to 67. And then the NASCAR Midwest Series morphed into the ASA Midwest Tour Series, where Steve has 11 wins. That's a lot of winning.
That's a lot of wins. I remember that 66 winning a bunch in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Here's a driver who wins a bunch. In fact, he is your 2025 NASCAR Weekly Series National Champion, Jacob Gady.
Wow, lap number 1, he's brought the hammer. 19.731. Jacob Gady goes 2nd quick. And he get underneath Carlson's 19.697.
And that championship, had the car wash out a little bit exiting corner number 4. That championship that he won this year a couple weeks ago was his 2nd NASCAR National Championship. We saw him on Track TV in spectacular fashion a couple of weeks ago, crossing the finish line, crashing. Days of Thunder-esque,
Well,
but he won.
Spectacular fashion again this afternoon. Quick time so far for Gady, 19.535, even with the bobble over there in 3 and 4. He's trying to get his first track championship away from this guy who's trying to win his third in a row. This is the 78 machine of Skylar Holshausen out of Bangor, Wisconsin. 10th quick on lap number 1, 19.857. He said, we haven't spent a whole lot of time on the NASCAR late model this weekend because we kind of know what that thing is.
Well, they brought out a super late model.
They're playing with the super late.
Yep. Looks exactly like this car.
19.750 for Skylar. He'll go third behind Gady and Carlson.
Wow. That is so our championship contenders, Gady, Holshausen, and Benzik, all in the top 5 in qualifying.
First, third, and fifth. And hey, this guy normally plays on the dirt. We haven't seen him in the pavement world a whole lot lately. This will be the 21 of Nick Panitsky.
Nick Panitsky had fast time in a World of Outlaw dirt late model event. Was that at Deer Creek earlier this summer?
I think you're right.
Yes. Yes, it was an impressive showing. You know, when the World of Outlaw late models or the World of Outlaw sprint cars come to town, it's professional racers. It's the best of the best. And on that night, he was the fastest man in the land.
Yeah, he's trying to help out the 21 of Adam Benzik get that car qualified in. He's just outside the show right now with a 20.089. So Panitsky goes 20th quickest. Steve Carlson sitting on the bubble with a 20.044.
Just a handful of drivers left to go out.
I think this is it right here. 93, Brian Lee.
Well, it's a small hand.
Small hand.
Small handful.
Now you got me thinking of that movie with that guy with the hand. You looking at my fan?
Again, this live look-in brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. Giving you a live look-in here on social media. Eventually, we will turn the live look-in off, and we will ask you to go over to TrackTV.com, TrackTV.com, where we will have all 4 nights, all the laps for you. We will have you covered if you can't be here at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. How did our last qualifier do?
Brian
32nd.
Lee went 32nd, so Steve Carlson is safe. 20.044.
Jacob Gady the quickest, Mike Carlson, Skylar Holshausen, Brian Rolstead, and Adam Benzik. That's your top 5. Adam Degenhardt, Steve Beckman, Tom Luthi, Jason Stark, Nick Barstead, top 10. The rest of the guys who are going to make it in on time.
Steve Anderson Jr., Nick Clements, Jeremy Wolf, Ryan Varner, Randy Sargent going to hang in 15th, and the last car make it on time will be the 66 of Steve Carlson.
And that's important, Matt, because
they are all locked in for the weekend.
All 4 features.
They're set.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much, Connor. And Connor, it's great to have you back at the track.
So next we will be going super late model qualifying.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know you've been waiting for a long time.
And we've got a developing story for our super late models. We do.
We do?
Bryce Miller is going to be penalized 1 lap because they were already in staging and went under the hood.
Oh.
So he's only going to get 1 lap of qualifying. That's going to make it a little tougher.
And Bryce Miller will be carrying our in-car camera tonight, courtesy of Smoky Hollow Campgrounds. So Bryce Miller and that Smoky Hollow Campground, number 11, is going to give us some excitement.
They've been a very busy group getting that
car
back together.
Goodness.
The overnight trip to North Carolina, to Fury, to get that thing fixed. And
Labor Day weekend at Dells Raceway Park, we had the big one.
Yeah.
And the number 11 of Bryce Miller was in that wreck, and it was absolutely destroyed.
Front and back of the 11 machine. But they have been diligent. They got it back together. They are ready to go. They unveiled a new scheme for us this weekend.
Yep.
Little Alan Kowicki-like with the orange, black, and white.
Bryce Miller's going to have a special guest here, an honorary crew chief. Not here tonight, but getting here later on tomorrow, Paul Andrews.
A championship crew chief.
A championship crew chief. There is Bryce Miller. The Paul Andrews, who was the crew chief for Alan Kowicki when Alan won the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Now Paul is retired, but he's on the Kowicki Driver Development Board, and he wanted to come and see one of his drivers, and so he will do that. I asked Bryce, are you going to put him to work? He said, heck yeah, I'm putting him to work. We're shorthanded.
That's a good mind to put to work, too. Very cool that they get to come out and see their drivers compete on a national stage, and Bryce has been doing a great job representing the Kowicki Driver Development Program throughout the season on his socials, and he does such a great job with the youngsters. They brought that group of school students to Hawkeye Downs, and despite the mechanical issues that they've gone through, he has still managed to keep a smile on that blonde-haired face, and Bryce is a great representative of the Kowicki program.
And I see Mark Filer is helping the 11 machine.
Another championship crew chief.
You betcha. Smart mind right there. I saw Mark here. I was with him when he was signing in, but I didn't realize he was helping out the 11 car.
Looks like Danielle Bain on the 11 crew this week as well. Danielle announced earlier this week that she was not going to be able to participate behind the wheel, dealing with some health issues, but we wish her the best as she's still able to be here and be on the grounds and take in the Oktoberfest race weekend.
Again, this live looked in brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. Qualifying is up next for the super late models. Set the field for the futures and for the Tom Ruffner Knights race.
I think he was going to do up some chicken legs when he gets home from selling pool supplies.
Those darn HIPAA rules.
So the futures is coming up first. And interesting thing about the futures race is that this is open to age.
Beautiful Thursday here at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. We are in West Salem, Wisconsin, just a stone's throw east of the Mississippi River.
And normally we would see the beautiful fall colors in full display, but it's still green up here.
It's because it's been really nice.
There's the Chase Motorsports 47 that will be piloted by Jacob Gady this weekend.
What is Jacob going to be in? Did I read 8 features? Potentially. It's going to be in 8 feature events this weekend. That's the super late model that Jacob will pilot.
Second quick in that in practice, too, so he's pretty good in that car. They got things worked out in that one earlier this morning.
Talked to him yesterday about working with 2 different crews. The 72, the late model, the NASCAR late model, is the family team. Mm-hmm. This super late model is the Chase Motorsports team. So I'm sure, and we didn't get into it too much, but I'm sure it presents some challenges just with communication and verbiage and terms and what do you want out of the car and how are we going to make sure we get it there. Whereas with the family team, they just click and they just gel and they just do.
Well, and that was, he said, was by himself yesterday, and he admitted, he's like, it gets a little bit scrambled, a little busy, but I can kind of, once the family gets here, they take over the red car, I can set my sights and focus on the super late, and all I got to do is jump in and drive that red one, and I know where it's going to be and what to expect out of it. He's got a lot of faith and trust in that family group as they've now taken him to 2 NASCAR National Championships.
Qualifying for the super late models, the futures portion of this program is on track right now in the 99 machine. Joey Stankiewicz.
Stankiewicz, a regular up at the Norway Speedway.
So the ground rules here for the futures and the Knights. Ground rules for the futures, which you're qualifying right now. Super late model race open to drivers under age 30 that have never finished in the top 3 of the Midwest Tour point standings, or anyone over 30 that has never run in a previous Oktoberfest 200, a NASCAR touring race, or any of NASCAR's top 3 divisions. So, Levon Vandergeest, as an example, he's under age 30. However, he has finished in the top 3 of the ASA Midwest Tour point standings. Therefore, he is a Knight.
Yep. And Derek Crosse, you mentioned him earlier. He's also won the futures portion of it. So he, too, being that he's competed in the Oktoberfest 200 and run very well in it, gets to be a Knight.
This is Carter Christensen. Carter Christensen in the 02 machine, the fastest of the 2 drivers that are on track right now.
Carter from La Crosse, Wisconsin, been a regular here with the late models in the Gasoline Alley Toys and 02 machine. 18.944, pretty good lap for Carter Christensen. Fastest super late models today. Told you that Ty Majeski went 18.560, but they were all stickered up, ready to just get in mock run for the weekend, trying to get maximized practice. Andrew Morrissey with an 18.758 would have been the fastest super late model overall in practice today, outside of Majeski.
This guy was fast at one point when I checked the scoring monitor. This is Jared DeBoer. Put the left side tires down on the grass over in 3 and 4. That's going to kill lap number 1.
Well, he also didn't trip the clock, it looks like. Jared DeBoer, the track champion over at Marshfield Speedway this year, the Earth Incorporated 2 machine. Had a guest driver for their special harvest event last weekend.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. 2-time defending Midwest Tour champion. Gabe Summers was piloting that 2 car. I did not see any time put for DeBoer. So we'll see if they let him come back out for a lap.
Ken Sports sponsors the 4 machine of Cody Vanderloop. Cody Vanderloop, the youngster, cracking into the super late model ranks. We saw him on Track TV at the Gander Auto Group 250.
Yep, spent some time doing some trucking. He's a former Wisconsin Sport Truck champion. Cody Vanderloop, 19.689 on lap number 1.
And he's straight, kind of what we call missed the corner up there in corner number 1.
He just about went to Holman over there. Cody Vanderloop with a 19.619 on lap number 2. Good pickup. Everybody chasing Carter Christensen right now. Good. Over half a second faster with an 18.944 on his lap. And there's safety team is on the racetrack looking over something over here in turns 1 and 2.
Well, that might have been the problem. That
might have explained what happened to Vanderloop.
Yep.
We're hearing over the PA that they are tracking down the transponder from the 2 machine of Jared DeBoer.
Okay. All right.
That would make sense as to why he did not click the clock.
Great to have you with us on this live look-in brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. We'll take you through qualifying, and then we will shut off the live look-in. When you want to come back at 6 o'clock, you'll do so by logging into TrackTV.com. TrackTV.com is your online home for the ASA Midwest Tour, and this weekend it is your home for 4 days worth of racing here at Oktoberfest. We're gonna settle some championships. Of course, the granddaddy of them all, the ASA Midwest Tour in the Oktoberfest 200 on Sunday.
3 points separate those 2 drivers coming into the weekend. Of course, Saturday we'll get some qualifying and qualifying races. We'll get a big picture set up for Sunday as to who's got to finish where, what the formula is to get to that championship.
Gabe Summers and Casey Johnson, the 2 that you speak of.
Those are the 2. Gabe trying to go 3 in a row for the Midwest Tour. Casey trying to win his 4th Tour championship after such a hot start. What a dynamic season that has been, too. And it all comes down to this here at Oktoberfest, and it's really going to come down to who finishes the highest in that 200-lapper.
There will be points on the line for qualifying, will be points on the line for the preliminaries, so that could change that 3-point margin when we drop the green flag on Sunday afternoon. Saturday night, we will determine a champion in the Big 8 late models. Randy Sargent well out in front of that over Driver X, John Reynolds Jr.
Yeah, he's on the grounds. I think that's secured. They can walk that title over to the 11 machine right now. As soon as he qualifies on Saturday, that is official for Randy Sargent.
We'll also determine a champion on Saturday night for the Mid-American Stock Car Series.
Scotty Gardner trying to go back-to-back in the Mid-American Stock Cars after winning the Rookie of the Year and the championship a year ago.
We're going to have the Midwest Truck Series in action, Midwest Dash Series in action on Saturday night. And, of course, tomorrow night, as we work backwards in the schedule, it's the Trickle 99, 3 33-lap feature events for the super late models. That's always a barn burner. That one is so much fun.
There's so much intensity in that race. A lot of passing going on, big inverts, fast cars coming through the field. 19.088 for the youngster out of DeForest, Wisconsin. This is Penn Sauter on track in the T-Sport 5 machine.
Johnny's boy, 15 years of age is Penn. graduate of the Bandoleros. Ran a season in the late models, now up to the supers, and now up to the top of the board. 18.883 for Penn.
And he picked it up from practice. He ran 19.0 in practice, so Sauter a little bit quicker on the wick. This will be the 7 of Mitch Haver. Haver has really been good on the watch the last month in the season, Dean. He surprised us in qualifying at Elko. He really surprised us at Grundy in the top 5 there. Mitch Haver, 19.129. And they, too, have had a busy summer, had to rebuild some cars.
A couple of them.
A couple of them.
Yes.
The Progress Manufacturing Incorporated 7 machine.
Driver from West Bend, Wisconsin. Sorry, Matt.
No problem, Dean. Third quickest, 19.129. He'll stay third, but he'll pick it up with an 18.971.
Again, if you're just tuning in, if you're just checking out the live look-in, brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. This is qualifying for the super late models. The event tonight is the Futures for the drivers under 30 or the drivers who have had not run the Oktoberfest 200. We just saw this driver in qualifying. Different car, same driver, Brazen Bennett.
This one's a little flashier, got more graphics on it for Bennett. He'll go fourth quickest with 19.174. Penn Sauter holds the mark right now with an 18.883.
Brazen, 29 years of age.
His dad Lowell was in this race a year ago.
I saw Lowell today, saw him signing in. So he didn't bring the race car, but Lowell Bennett, in his 50th year of racing, still here at the racetrack supporting Brazen.
And he's still doing some racing.
He is.
Fox River Racing Club.
He is.
Saw him on tour once already this year.
Randy Sargent on track right now in his super late model. The 28-year-old driver from South Beloit, Illinois, XL Contracting, Pietro's Pizzateria Race Engines entry. I have to tip a tip of the cap to drivers like Randy Sargent doing double duty, Jacob Gady doing 8 times duty. I mean, it's just, my goodness, this is supposed to be fun, and they are just grinding it out. And hats off to the drivers and the crews and the teams that can pull off this double duty. Randy Sargent, it looks like he will go 5th quick. Here's the Smoky Hollow Campground onboard that we spoke of. Bryce Miller.
An only lap for Bryce Miller. We told you that they got caught going underneath the hood while they were already in staging, so
Bryce is going to have to lay down a good one in that number 11 machine, all-weather armor guard, Club Lamarck, floors for less.
Well, if he could have got a second lap, 19.070 for Bryce. He'll go 6th quickest on the one and only lap.
What did you think of the hands? Because the hands don't lie.
The hands don't lie. It's bumpy. It's still looking like they're trying to dial it in a little bit. A little tight for Bryce. Can't quite cut it the way he wants to.
18-year-old driver on track right now, the 14. From Clear Lake, Iowa, the Coltman Farms Racing, Cornelia Fireworks, MDM Marketing, Chevrolet of Cody King. Cody King. He's really having a nice season. Rookie on the ASA Midwest Tour, 18 years of age.
He is inside the top 5 in season standings, and it was this race a year ago that kind of started to excel Cody King. It was this weekend, really. He had a big showing during the Futures portion of it last year, and then inside the Trickle 99, he ran upside the top 5, put himself in the top 10 for that 200, and that was enough for them to say, all right, let's go racing for the full season.
We're ready to do the full season.
Let's do it.
Cody King is 6th right now as Grant Griesbach rolls trackside. Gee, what did you do this summer, Grant? Well, I won a track champion at Slinger Super Speedway in the super late models. I won a track championship at Wisconsin International Raceway in the super late models. I won the red, white, and blue state championship at Wisconsin International Raceway. And I'm in the thick of a battle for a championship in the Midwest Truck Series. Other than that, it's been kind of a boring summer.
Yeah, it's been kind of boring. 5th quickest on lap number 1, the first car in the 18s with an 18.986 on his first lap.
Cobblestone Hotels, Manley Construction, IBEW Local 494, Griesbach 2nd quick.
18.901. So Penn Sauter still hanging on, 18.883.
Jacob Gady Another one of those drivers pulling double duty. He is getting ready to go qualify in the super late models. Let's hear his thoughts.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Jacob. Good one speeding bullet already with a NASCAR late model. Good qualifying effort there. How is the super late?
I think we're pretty good. We're going to find out here now that everybody's on equal tires. That'll really determine where we're at. But it's got a pretty good balance to it. I think it's good on the long run. I don't know if we're going to have pole speed, but we're going to sure try, that's for sure.
Have you been eating your Wheaties? 8 features you could run this weekend? Are you ready for this?
I think it's 9, isn't
Oh,
it?
gee.
Maybe 10 with the 200 on Sunday. No, I've been trying to stay hydrated. It's hot out here this weekend. That's going to be tough, especially on Sunday. But if you got a good race car, it'll take care of itself, and we'll be in good shape.
Congratulations on the NASCAR National Championship, my friend.
Thank you, guys. That's real special. Really proud to bring it home to the Midwest. A lot of great racers from up here. They deserve this as much as I do, and really, really proud to bring it home and learn from all these guys over the years.
Well, congratulations, Jacob. We look forward to seeing you compete in all 10 features this weekend, and maybe you can do one better than your best mark of 4 victory lanes for Oktoberfest race weekend.
Man, that sure would be sweet. It's going to be no easy feat, that's for sure, but we're going to give it our all.
All right, go get ready. Go qualify. Thanks for spending a couple of minutes with us.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Jacob Gady getting ready to go qualifying in his super late model. Good of him to spend a couple of minutes with us.
Busy guy.
Yes.
That's good of Steve to be able to track him down.
Yes, excellent. Michael Hagar on track, the Hanover, Minnesota driver. Titan Consulting, Gene Matters CPA.
He'll be doing double duty. He'll be in the NASCAR late model, and he's going to be running the super late.
8th quick, 19.038, 19.038. 27 machine rolls trackside. Matthew Gajewski.
Gajewski was second at Marshfield this season. Had a big season in his super late model. Also ran inside the top 5 at Golden Sands.
Wausau, Wisconsin, the hometown. Part of the Gajewski racing family. There's a slew of them. MG, of course.
MG, a 12-time CWRA champion.
That's his dad.
Yep.
Brad, his brother. I'm guessing. I'm asking.
I'm looking at you with a blank look. Your guess is good as mine, Dean. Central part of the state, not my territory.
11th quick at a 19.615. We found the transponder.
There it is. So Jared DeBoer will get 1 lap of qualifying, being that he was already out here. Your Marshfield track champion. Alex Gilhart up in the auto value flag stand for La Crosse Speedway. And he'll give the checker to DeBoer on this one. Same as Bryce Miller. If he could have got a second lap, 19.080. They're both right there with each other, 9th and 10th for Jared DeBoer.
Joe Valento rolls trackside in the Friends of Jacqueline Foundation. Number 30, Weezer Concrete, Crustbuster, Napa Chevrolet. The 21-year-old from Scandia, Minnesota.
You know, I was looking for him all day in a white car.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't find him. He blends in. He's got a different look on this 30 machine this weekend.
Travis Dasso up on top of the box, calling the shots on this 30 machine all season long. Valento 13th on lap number 1. Check that 12th at a 19.320, 19.320.
Working our way down. Looks like about 8, 10 cars yet to go here in this futures group. Valento 5th quick, 18.957. Good burst of speed out of the 30 group.
Still chasing Penn Sauter at an 18.883. The top 6 drivers have cracked the 18-second mark. The next driver out on the clock is Ridge Oyen. Ridge Oyen in the number 7 machine.
Ridge spent the bulk of the season with the Midwest Tour. Did some NASCAR late model racing as well. First lap for Ridge, 21.052. Looking for some speed out of that 7. Looks like he's actually going to call it something wrong with the 7 machine. So Oyen will bring it pit side, and they'll give the racetrack up to the 34 of Maxwell Schultz, the regular at Fox River Racing Club. He's over at WIR. We've seen him on the Midwest Truck Series in that Nick Van truck.
Yeah, had a great run at Wisconsin International Raceway. He and Nick Van, teammates, were duking it out there near the top. Of course, Van goes on to win that race, but Maxwell Schultz closing laps right up, nestled inside the top 3, top 5. Driver comes to us from Reedsville, Wisconsin.
First lap time for Schultz is going to be a 19:146, 13th quickest so far.
Fox City's towing alongside for a ride on this 34 machine. Pretty straight off of corner number 4.
A decent second lap. He'll pick it up. 19:015 for Maxwell Schultz into the top 10. He'll go 9th quickest thus far. Everybody's still chasing Penn Sauter. We're kind of thinking that maybe Penn on the verge of a breakout weekend. This youngster had a breakout weekend here a year ago, and boy, he turned that into 3 Midwest Tour wins. This is the 36 of Ty Fredrickson.
Ty Fredrickson.
Right off the bat, 18.864.
Goes to the top of the board. Wow. Driver from Webster, Minnesota, the Herman's Landscape Supply Nortec Equipment, Toyota. Picked up his first career Midwest Tour victory a few weeks back at Grundy County Speedway. And he goes faster yet, 18.759.
Class A3, he's got 2 of them so far. 2 of them, back to back. Grundy and Elko.
Jerry Miller in the Sealmaster number 49 rolls trackside for his qualifying effort. Homer's Towing, All-Pro Asphalt, Paving Pal, also helping out the Richfield, Wisconsin driver Jerry Miller.
He just about missed turn 1 over there.
Yep.
I wonder if that's just getting greasy as the sun is beating down on it over there, because we've seen that out of a handful of drivers on that end in particular. Miller will go a little bit slower on lap number 2 because of that with a 19.754, so he'll stay 15th.
From Burlington, Wisconsin, next driver to qualify drives a 66. It is James Story. Story in the Rhodes Towing. Matt Auto Parts, Story Fascia, pit stop 67 entry. '22-year-old driver.
First lap time for James going to be 19.395. Put him 15th quickest.
20 drivers have gone out and taken a lap in qualifying. Again, this is the super late model qualifying that is winding down for the event that'll run tonight called the Future. Generally speaking, as we said, for the younger drivers.
And Story will go with a 19.080 on lap number 2. Good pickup. He'll give way to another number 66 machine who spent the bulk of his summer traveling around in Florida. This is the Ishnala Supper Club Route 66 machine of Kendrick Cryer.
Kendrick Cryer joining us here this weekend. Good to see. His first ASA Midwest Tour event 1 year ago at Hawkeye Down Speedway, and he put it on the podium. Led laps and finished on the podium.
He's definitely a fast young driver, is Kendrick.
16th on lap number 1, a 19.098.
It may take a little bit of the weekend to get reacclimated to the home team, though. Maybe not. Kendrick Cryer going to go second quick with an 18.802.
Wow. Quite the pickup.
I think they figured it out.
I guess he qualifies this driver as a Futures.
I guess.
He comes to us from Hernando, Florida. He's 21-year-old Michael Hind. Michael Hind in the 69.
He only has 3 ASA Midwest Tour starts to his credit.
His first one came here 1 year ago in Oktoberfest race weekend, where he finished third in the 200 lapper. And Michael Hine goes to the top of the board, 18.719 on lap number 1.
Yeah, he was third quickest of all super lates in the practice sessions today with an 18.894. Ooh.
A little wide, maybe off the corner number 4.
But it didn't matter. 18.544.
Wow.
Hey, he says, hey, teammate Ty, I got your best lap time of the day, and I'll raise you a couple ticks.
0.2 of a second quicker than second place driver Ty Fredrickson.
That's a lap by Michael Hine.
Wow.
That's a good qualifying effort.
And it is out of the Toby Noodleman Incredible Bank Stables is that 69 machine. Is the 77 rolls trackside. Riley Stengham. Riley Stengham in the 77.
Riley had himself a split-time ride with the Chase Motorsports entry at Fox River Racing Club of WIR. Got a couple of feature wins in super late model action over there on Thursday nights.
Drives the Screaming Norwegian House Contractors Hogan Farms 77, and he'll drive it up to 5th on lap number 1.
18.893 for the family ride of the Stengham entry.
Check that. That was lap number 2. Here's a driver who was quick in the last practice session for the super late models. Good to see Tristan Swanson back on track. Tristan Swanson in the 91 machine, the 21-year-old from Newmarket, Minnesota.
Yeah, they were really good at Elko in their return to super late racing for the season. We saw him kind of blister through the field. The hard charger for that Thunderstruck 93.
Legends Direct, Marthaler.com, Twin Cities Auto Glass, all helping out the driver of the 91. Tristan Swanson, 9th quick on lap number 1. Lap number 2, he will go up to 4th.
18.823 for Swanson backs up his practice efforts. He went 18.879 in practice earlier today.
This is setting up a dynamite futures race. Listen to these youngsters that qualified in the top 5. Michael Hine, Ty Fredrickson, Kendrick Cryer, Tristan Swanson, and Penn Sauter. We have teenagers. I think of that group, Swanson is the oldest, or Hind and Swanson at 21 years of age.
21. Yep.
Oh, wow. The Futures event comes up later on tonight. If you want to see that, we'll need you to go over to TrackTV.com. TrackTV.com, your home for Oktoberfest race weekend. All 4 days. When you sign in, you log in. You're also going to get the Winchester 400 in addition to the 4 days of racing that we have here at Oktoberfest. Right now you're watching a live look-in brought to you by Appalachian Sucker Punch. But again, we will turn off that live look-in here in just a bit and ask you to go over to TrackTV.com. Break in the action to cross some people over between the infield and the outer pit area. We have got, Matt, cars pitted, I think, from here to Wanakee.
It's packed in here. They've been in here since Monday when Camper Village opened. The race for the electrical units was the very first one. In fact, one of our
we had an
competitors,
accident too.
Yeah, Steve Bachman is he already got a wreck. Thankfully, it was not on the racetrack for his championship efforts, but he's a little banged up this weekend after trying to get to the electrical box.
Yeah, they opened the gates at I think noon on Monday.
Yep, noon on Monday.
And they opened the gates, and it looked like they were all going for the big screen TV on Black Friday at Walmart. It was that kind of a mad rush to get very limited electrical outlets, so that's a hot commodity here at Fest.
Well, there's only so many available, and guys will run long extension cords to make sure they get their power. So a little bit of a, like you said, crossover here. Another update for your super late model fans. Jeff Storm, who would normally we would see him in the nights portion of this event. They have scratched for the evening. They're having mechanical issues on the Deuce Nickel machine, so the 25 of Stormy will not be in action tonight. If you were expecting to see him on our live coverage.
Yeah, we saw him in practice.
Yeah, they did bring both cars, but he said that the second car is primarily for Saturday and Sunday, so they're going to see if they can't get the bugs fixed on this one and be ready to go for that Trickle 99 tomorrow night.
Our final on-track activity for the time being, until we go racing, is qualifying for the super late models. The Tom Reffner Nights feature event. is where these drivers will land later on tonight.
And they get a cool little knight head,
like a knight in
trophy,
shining armor. Yeah.
Helmet for that. That's
yeah.
Cool trophy.
Dalton Zier put it on his head right in victory lane last
got
year.
It off.
I didn't say that. Dalton, that was not me.
I love you, Dalton. So the Knights will be qualifying next. And then as part of the action tonight, you're also going to see Street Stocks, which are their 6-shooters, and Hornets, which are the 4-cylinders on the quarter mile. We'll have the Sportsman up on the 5/8 mile. That's that 21.8 breakout time. That was that very first group that was out there qualifying. And then we'll see the NASCAR late models and our super late models.
I gave you the ground rules for the futures. Here's the ground rules for the Tom Reffner Knights of Oktoberfest. It is open to a super late model. It's a super late model event for teams that are not eligible for the futures race. Well, yeah, duh. If you can't be in the futures, you have to be in the Tom Reffner Knights. It, of course, recognizes the Blue Knight Tom Reffner. It's also a good warm-up for tomorrow night, the Trickle 99, and a good warm-up for Sunday afternoon's ASA Midwest Tour Oktoberfest 200. But generally speaking, these are the drivers that are a tick older or more experienced or have had more successes. If you won, for example, we'll see Gabe Summers and Casey Johnson in this event. They are ASA Midwest Tour champions, so they're not eligible for the futures. They run the Knights.
In a little different format tonight to tomorrow night as well. It's a sprint, 22 laps like tomorrow night's 33 laps, but a little smaller invert tonight. You won't have to pass as many cars. And it's just that one 22-lap shot. That's it. Tomorrow night, you got to have 3 really good races. Oh, geez, Jankowski. As I was just getting ready to say, you got to have 3 really good features tomorrow night to put together a Trickle 99 winning effort. Corey Jankowski in the Harley Jankowski Habelman Brothers Cranberries machine just about fenced it, coming up to speed over there in turns 3 and 4.
A home race for this team. Harley Jankowski, if you're not aware or you did not watch our race from the Dells, Harley, just prior to the Jim Sauter Classic at Dells Raceway Park, had a kidney transplant and had to step out of the seat of the car, but he put his uncle in the machine.
Yeah, been on the list for a while. They've been waiting for that phone call, and he was getting ready to go to the track when they got the call, and they detoured to the hospital. Harley is here this weekend. Corey went with an 18.946 on his lap. He'll give up the TrackTV 3 machine of Jeff Weinfurter, the veteran who competes at Marshfield and Golden Sands, and the CWR8 late models as well. A 19.812 for Weinfurter on his first lap. And Weinfurter will go 19.622. 19.622 for Weinfurter. And next to qualify is the driver out of Edgerton, Wisconsin, Casey Johnson in the Hogan Farms 5 machine.
No.
Big weekend for Casey, trying to win his 4th Midwest Tour Championship. Top of the board, 18.806 for Johnson. He'll lead him on lap number 1. Off of 4 for Johnson, trying to lower the mark a little bit. He will with an 18.656 for Casey Johnson. That's a fast time for the Knights. He's a little bit slower than the quick qualifier from the Futures. We were able to catch up with him in our 5-star pit reporting. Michael Hine, your fast qualifier for the Futures division.
Congratulations. Welcome back to Oktoberfest.
Glad to be back.
Congratulations on the fast time. How'd you do it?
Well, you got Toby prepared us a really great race car. I can't thank him enough, and all the guys, and Todd from Incredible Bank for making all this happen. You know, you got a real good teammate, Ty Majeski, who helped me out a lot. He really knows how to get around this place. So that was a huge help. And went out there the first lap, knew I had to go for it. Seen that we went to the top of the board that first lap, so I really just tried to drive it in there the second lap, and it stuck.
It's stuck indeed with fastest lap we've seen of a super late model so far this weekend. You're a little bit learned from last year's third place run, and then you came back and played with us on the tour a little bit this year. How much more comfortable do you feel against these guys?
I feel a lot more comfortable against these guys. Last year was kind of just getting our feet wet. I feel like I've raced against these guys a handful of times now. I kind of know who I'm racing around. Getting a lot more comfortable in the Toby car, so really glad to be back here. I've been wanting a bullet since last year. I'm really glad we were able to make it happen.
He got a taste of that bullet last year at Fest. So I guess we were good hosts, good Midwestern hospitality. You came back to Oktoberfest. Michael Hind, it's good to see you back here, and it's good to see you going fast. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Michael Hind, your fast qualifier in the Futures race. The 21-year-old driver from Florida, getting his thoughts on his qualifying effort. And you know he's just got to kind of maybe stick it to his teammate a little bit like, hey, look what I did.
Hey, I got this bullet, right? It's definitely going to make Ty want to come back on Saturday and try to get another one, get two of them in that Toby Noodleman camp.
So Casey Johnson is atop the board. Derek Crosse, while we were talking to Michael Hind, goes second quick. Billy Moan goes third quick. On track right now, Levon Vandergeest in the 23. The Holtz Motors, Holtz Chevrolet, Zilich Repair, Breber Music, Custom Meats, Central Sawdust, number 23.
And we were talking about Bryce Miller being in that big one at Dell's Raceway Park on Labor Day weekend. That particular car that was just on track from the Vandergeest stable was the car that was also in that big one.
One of the other cars.
Yes,
yeah.
Another one of the cars in that big one.
Andrew Morrissey on track. Former winner of the ASA Midwest Tour 200. We get to see him on a handful of occasions here on the ASA Midwest Tour. The driver from DeForest, Wisconsin, Nelson Brothers Power Center, Club Lamarck, MJB Construction. The 41-year-old former Midwest Tour champion.
18.774 on lap number 1. They were the quickest super late model aside from Majeski. And he'll back it up with an 18.555. Morrissey to the top of the board, and boy, that 39 car has got a very low finishing average.
That car, I mentioned we see him on occasion on the ASA Midwest Tour. They just pick and choose. Don't run weekly, don't run for points, just pick and choose. And when they do come to a race, they come loaded for bear, and that is a very stout piece. On track right now, the 40 machine from Ringgold, Wisconsin. This is Jeremy Lepak in the 40. Good to see Jeremy back. I don't think we've seen him all summer.
He had himself a pretty big weekend at the Cleaver Memorial at Golden Sands. Was quick qualifier there and your winner. Representing the home track over there for Jeremy Lepak. 18.733. He'll go fourth quickest.
Good pickup on lap number 2 for Jeremy. That'll bring out the El Bandito Yankee Tequila. River City's Engineering 44 machine of Justin Mondyke. Mondyke from Gleason, Wisconsin, on track for his qualifying effort for the Knights race.
Mondyke was the track champion at Clover this year at Golden Sands Speedway. We have talked about it, though. It seems very odd to be in October and think that we haven't seen Justin Mondyke get to Victory Lane yet. Could we see him on the tour? Could we see him get there this weekend? Good first lap at 18.9.
Picks it up on lap number 2, just a tick, 18.837. Seventh quick for Justin Mondyke. We heard from this driver a little bit ago here on our live looking, brought to us by Appalachian Sucker Punch. It's the Valley Gasket, Hogan Farms, Fox City's towing entry of Jacob Gady. Gady in the Chase Motorsports 47.
18.999, lap number 1 for Gady. He'll go 9th quickest. Just a couple of cars yet to go in this Knights group. Andrew Morrissey with quick time so far, 18.5.55. And Gady will go a little bit quicker with an 18.839. He'll go 8th quickest. Gady was the driver for Chase Motorsports on the tour throughout the season. It was Riley Stenjum and Ty Majeski that split time in that machine at WIR throughout the summer months. This the first weekend back in a super late model for the driver out of Bangor, Wisconsin. This is Skylar Holshausen. He's got a couple wins in the ASA Midwest Tour.
He does.
He pocketed a big payday at Elko a couple years ago.
He did. The Don's Auto Truck Centers. Number 78 for Skylar. Put this car together. It's a used machine. Actually bought it out of the Fox Valley. Somebody who ran at Wisconsin International Raceway. Skylar puts it together. And I talked to him last night, and he was shaking his head. Just, what? Yeah. One of those.
Yeah, they were throwing things at it last night, trying to see if it would get any better. They're still struggling with it.
I saw him get out of the car in the last practice session today, and his dad, Steve Holshausen, came over, and Toby Noodleman came over, and I didn't have to read lips. All I had to do was look at Skylar's head just shaking. Nope, it didn't get any better. Nope. It's frustrated. Is Skylar Holshausen. He'll be 11th quick. Here's the driver that we saw a couple weeks ago at Elko Speedway. First time we had seen him out all year. And good to see Brian Sierkeski join us once again at Fest.
He showed really good speed at Elko, but didn't get a chance to race much. Was involved in a very early wreck. He'll go 4th quickest here tonight with an 18.721. So again, showing good speed is that 81 of Brian Sierkeski.
Sorensen's New Prague Auto. Schrader Masonry, number 81, for the driver who was a former Rookie of the Year in the ASA Midwest Tour from Lakeville, Minnesota. That wraps up qualifying for the Knights portion of Super Late Model action. Again, the Knights and the Futures will have their feature events later on tonight, as well as 2 features for the lacrosse late models. We've got a ton of lacrosse late models. We're going to have last chance races and consies and semis and everything to see who's going to join the top 16 in qualifying from earlier tonight for the lacrosse late models.
Yeah, and those guys, they're going to run 15 laps in their qualifying race just to get in, and then have to go 22 in the feature. And there's some good cars that just barely missed that 16 mark, that cutoff line. So if you were off in qualifying for the NASCAR late models, well, you got a long night ahead of you.
Qualifying remains for 2 divisions. We have the Street Stocks and the Hornets. They will be utilizing the quarter mile. So just 2 more divisions to qualify here on night 1 of the 56th annual Oktoberfest race weekend. Glad to have you with us, whether you have logged in to TrackTV or whether you are watching on our Appalachian Sucker Punch live look-in on social media. Again, qualifying comes your way in just a moment on the quarter mile for the Street Stocks and the Hornets. We will step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back on Track TV and on our live look-in after a word from our sponsors.
Better than a bootlegger. Way better than a bootlegger. It's pretty good. Very blueberry. Highly recommend this to anybody out there. It's pretty good. 10 out of 10 right there.
I think it's delicious. I had the peach, I had the grape at Five Flags. Trying the pina colada right now. Feels like I'm on the beach somewhere.
5-Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-Star.
Legacies aren't built overnight. They're built 1 second at a time. Never taking a lap off, and always pushing the limits. K1, helping you build your legacy from the beginning.
Back at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, qualifying rolls on. As I promised, quarter mile action qualifying for the Street Stocks and the Hornets. We are going to turn off our live look-in. And again, thank you to Appalachian Sucker Punch for bringing us this live look-in on social media. Qualifying wrapping up. We're going to turn off the live look-in, ask you to go over to TrackTV.com, TrackTV.com. And when you do, be sure that you are settled in on the recliner, on the patio, wherever you're watching at 6 p.m. Central. 6 Central is when we go racing tonight. Night number 1 of the 56th annual Oktoberfest race weekend from La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Again, watching on Track TV, we thank you. We're going to throw it over to Track PA. Put a wraps on qualifying here for the Street Stocks and the Hornets. But again, get settled in. TrackTV.com. 6 Central is when we drop our first green flag.
Wisconsin. And across the line, a 16.723, 16.723. On track next, the 23, Thomas Drager out of Sparta. A young man making one of a handful of his first starts here. He's run a couple of enduros, just trying to get his feet wet in the race car industry. And finds a 19.662. On track next, going to be the 1220, the Redneck, Brian Olson, out of La Crescent, Minnesota.